Yeah, messieurs! Welcome back to the Spearfishing channel. In this week's video, I'll be showing y'all a different side of Lucian spearfishing because on this day, me and Jamile were on a mission for potfish. The sea was super clear when we got in the water and right away I had spotted something hiding in the reef. This was a beautiful octopus weighing in at around 1.5 pounds. In St. Lucia, we hunt them by hooking them with a homemade gaff which we call an aguaf, and then we pull them straight out of the hole. Then to dispatch them, I let them grab onto my arm and I bite their head in between the eyes. Octopus are always a fun challenge to hunt, and this one was the perfect way to start off the dive. We continued swimming around to look for potfish, and Jamile was quick to spot one of our main targets. He perfectly executed his dive and went to line up a shot on a beautiful glasseye snapper. It may look like a small fish, but that was one of the biggest ones I had ever seen. For the past year and a half, I've been training Jamile to dive, and he has improved a lot ever since he started. Boy, if you don't get... Even though that fish wasn't very challenging, his form and overall hunting ability has grown a lot, and I can't wait to get back on island for us to do some more dives. As the day went on, the sea started to get kinda dirty, so we pushed into some deeper water. I was only seconds into my first drop out here, and a nice Cero mackerel came up to check me out. I really made sure to line up my shot, and I missed. With how close that fish was, I really have no idea how I pulled that one off. It's not something I would normally show in my videos, but it happens to the best of us, and that was just too ridiculous not to show. Once I got back up to the surface, I reloaded my gun and made another drop. This time I made it to the bottom without any interruptions, and I quickly spotted a big lionfish in the distance. Those fish are an invasive species here in the Caribbean, and they are also very good to eat, so right away I started to swim towards it. However, before it was even in my range, I saw another nice Cero cruising in the distance, and I knew I would not let myself miss a second time. Unlike the last one, I hit a really good shot and the fish was strong on my line, so I had no problem pulling it straight into my hands. After dispatching that Cero and putting it on my carrier, we pushed even deeper, and on this dive I was in about 50 feet of water. On these deeper dives, I normally go straight to the bottom, but since I was targeting potfish, I took my time to look over the reef, and then I saw something run underneath this rock. Just from that brief glimpse of the fish, I could tell it was a solid parrotfish, and I waited for it to give me a shot. Because of the weird angle I hit it from, I went over to make sure my shot was secure and my line was free from the reef. This was a really solid stoplight parrotfish weighing in at 4 pounds. Parrotfish in general aren't really something I target because they are very good for the reef, but when I see a big one like this, I will still take one or two. I just make sure not to make a habit of it because as a diver, I want to make sure I'm being as sustainable as possible and taking care of the sea. After that nice stoplight, we started diving to go back home, and I made a drop on an area that seemed really fishy. There were loads of small reef fish and schoolmasters around, so I made sure to wait on the bottom just in case something bigger passed through. However, after waiting for a while, I realized I wasn't going to see anything, and I shifted my attention to this nice Spanish hogfish. These Spanish hogs or bute are a fish I don't really see people shoot on YouTube, but here in St. Lucia, they are an incredibly popular fish to eat. We continued swimming to go on shore while I still looked for fish from the surface, and eventually I spotted one of the best eating fish in the ocean. This fish is a beautiful strawberry grouper weighing in at around the 1 pound mark. I see a lot of these fish while I'm diving, but they are never big enough to shoot, so I always get super excited when I get the chance. Also, with them being my absolute favorite fish to eat, I was ready to go straight home, but as soon as I reloaded my gun, I saw another one. That stone shot was the best possible outcome since the fish died instantly and none of those beautiful fillets were damaged. Now, as you can probably see by the lighting, the sun was getting low, so we made our way back to shore and cooked up those groupers.
Check it, check it, check it. Boy, grouper self, that's sweet. The strawberries. Bad man cook the fish. Bad man cook the...
Look at this dude.
Why are you good?
Boy,
Yeah.
tapi boy.